Hey everyone, Sarah Elizabeth LaHood here, and I'm so happy to have you here today on the blog. Now, in this video, I want to troubleshoot what we've been talking about today in the blog. So today we're talking about the number one reason that I see that newbie business owners are having a really hard time booking paying clients. And the number one reason is you're not making consistent offers. Okay, so we talked a little bit about that. So what does making consistent offers even mean? What does making an offer mean? So in the business world, we're going to refer to offers as your products or services. So anything that you're offering, whether it's free or paid, and we'll talk about that in a second, to your audience, fans, followers, in order to get them into your business. So you're making an offer. The second part of that, and probably the more important part, is that you're actually helping somebody. So you've looked at your ideal client, you've looked at your market, depending on the way you talk about your business, and you've noticed something that you can do very easily that will help them get to their dream result. So that's your offer, and it's very important. I'm sure you've got offers in your business. Without them, your business does not exist. But how do you troubleshoot this? What if you're putting offers out there and you feel like you're being consistent and you feel like you're doing everything right and people just aren't taking you up on it? How do you troubleshoot that? So that's what we're going to be talking about in this short video. So the biggest, most important, number one, first thing to ask yourself is, are you actually making consistent offers? Okay, so I know you probably think you are, otherwise you wouldn't be in this troubleshooting video, okay? But are you actually making consistent offers? So let's look at this like a little bit unemotionally, if you will, for a moment, okay? So the first question is consistency. Okay, are you actually making consistent? So the questions to ask yourself are, how often are you making your offers? How often are the offers actually being seen? How often are you changing your offers? So consistency is not just how often are you making the offer, but also are you changing the way you're saying it too much? Are you not necessarily being clear and focused on what you and your business actually offer, and instead changing up how you say it all the time? That throws people off. If you're always changing what you're saying and how you're saying it, people are going to be like, well, she hasn't quite got her stuff together yet. I'm going to wait until she does. So there are people out there waiting for you to get your stuff together. So watch out for that consistency. The second thing is, how often are you posting them? Okay, so I know I just said make sure you're posting consistently, but I actually mean like upping the ante time-wise, okay? So consider this, okay? I'm going to use Facebook as an example for a second. If you're using Facebook to advertise your offers, okay, Facebook has algorithms. Don't need to really understand what that means, but Facebook has algorithms to try to deliver valuable content to its users. They want to make sure that they're only delivering stuff that's really, really interesting and powerful to their Facebook users. Makes sense, right? That's what we're all trying to do. But what that means for you is that when you post on, say, your business page or even your personal page or in a Facebook group, there's actually an algorithm making sure that people are seeing what's relevant to them, which means that if you post on your Facebook once a day, only about 2% of your audience is going to see that. What? Yeah, I just said 2%. So you need to make sure that you're actually posting it fairly often, okay? Because if you post multiple times on Facebook a day, Facebook, the company, is going to make sure that your audience doesn't see all of those posts because they don't want to bombard people with that information if they're not interested, okay? So the percentage of your audience that sees that is actually very, very small. So feel free to post often. And that goes for other things too, okay? So being repetitive in your offers is going to feel weird to you, but remember this, your business consumes your whole day, but it doesn't necessarily consume everybody else's, okay? So make sure you're really posting a lot. Put those offers out there. Let people find them. It's really, really important to make sure you're as visible as you possibly freaking can be. So even if you feel like you're being repetitive, it's okay. Be repetitive, up the ante. Okay, so consistency is the first thing to look at. But if you like look at all that stuff and you're like, check, 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 Sarah Elizabeth, check. I'm making all these boxes and I'm checking them. Okay, the next thing to look at, and this one's going to sound a little weird to you probably, is to look at your confidence. Okay, are you like you yourself as a human being or your business, are you feeling confident about what you're offering? Because if that confidence isn't there, you're not going to feel centered or even like energetic enough to actually put your offer out there in the way that it needs to be heard. The other thing is that if you're not feeling confident and centered, your offer is going to be way more focused around you and your worries and your desperation than it's going to be focused on your listener. And it's really about your listener. They've got to hear you. Ain't nobody care about you. This is not about you. It's about her. Okay, so focus on your ideal client. And the way to be able to do that is to really build your confidence. So if you have a mindset practice you have every day, focus on it. It's not time wasted. It's really important to feel comfortable and confident yourself. And the best way to do that is to really build that centeredness in a morning routine or an evening routine or something like that. Now, I have other videos talking about mindset practice, so we won't really dig into that now. But before you dismiss that tip as, too woo or too like not business like, I'm looking for business strategy, Sarah Elizabeth, stop talking about mindset. Don't dismiss it too soon because it actually does affect it. Have you ever made had a conversation or made an offer or something like that, and you went back and you looked at it a few days later and you went, holy cow, like that was the most skeevy, desperate thing I've ever written in my life. And you were kind of like, you a little bit like, ugh, gross to yourself. Have you ever done that? Have you ever had that experience? That comes from not feeling confident and centered yourself. So do that mindset practice in order to dismiss that sense of desperation that you might have around these offers. Okay, so you've checked your consistency, you've got your confidence, you're feeling centered. Okay, what could be the next thing, the next problem that you could take a look at? Troubleshooting. The next thing is to look at where are you posting the offers, okay? So if you've really done all this work and you're feeling comfortable and confident about it and you're actually putting it out there and there's not getting a lot of clicks, it's not getting a lot of takes, it's not really clicking with people, to change that phrase a little bit, take a look at where you're actually putting them. And I don't necessarily mean, are you posting on Facebook? Are you posting on Pinterest? Are you having enrollment calls? Do you have a sales page? I don't mean those things so much as I mean, think about your ideal client and your market and notice where she actually is, because it could be that you've spent a lot of time honing in on this stuff and you haven't quite got the ideal client right for your offer and for your business quite yet. So it could be that you're actually putting the offer out there, but it's just being put in front of the wrong people. Okay, so it can be as simple as that. So go back to your ideal client, go back to your market research, and really hone in and make sure you're being as specific and clear as you possibly can be on who this offer is for, and it'll help you make sure that you're putting the offer in front of the right people. Okay, so if you are putting it out there, you are doing it confidently with no desperation, and it's still not clicking, check to see if you're really putting it in front of the right people. And again, that does affect where you put it physically, like Facebook, Pinterest, sales pages, enrollment calls, because where your ideal client hangs out will change where you end up posting that stuff. But go back even further, go back beyond, do I post it to Facebook or Twitter, and start with your ideal client and your market, and it'll be easier to know where to start doing that. And the last thing is, if you're doing all this, you've checked all these boxes and it's still not clicking, you're getting it in front of the right people, the last thing to take a look at is, how are you making the offer? So this can be phrased as messaging, languaging, copywriting, content writing, sales writing, whatever you want to call it. But how are you actually saying this stuff? And is it clicking? If it's not clicking and you've checked off all the other boxes, it's probably a problem with your languaging. So it's probably not that you have a terrible offer. Feel comfortable with yourself. Don't make yourself wrong. You've done your research. You're smart. You've got talents. It's okay if it's not clicking. You're probably just not saying it in a way that people understand. So it's not that it's a terrible idea. It's not that it's a terrible offer. Hint, you are not wrong. Do not make yourself so. Take a look at how you're phrasing it. Remember, clear, simple, and specific will always connect if you're talking to the right people. Now, all of this is to troubleshoot your offers, okay? And again, I said we'd talk a little bit about free versus paid offers, because if you're going through all these motions and you're having a really hard time disconnecting from that desperation feeling, try making free offers, okay? Because free offers can be anything like a lead magnet or a webinar, like a checklist you deliver or an ebook or something like that. Or you can even promote your lower end offers. So, your ebook that's $20 instead of your coaching program that's $2,000, okay? Try promoting those things, because that'll even, at the very least, build your list and build your confidence that the stuff you're saying is actually working and stuff that people really need and want to hear, okay? So it's not really important what kind of offer you're making, whether it's for a $6,000 program or whether it's for a $6 ebook or whether it's for a free webinar at 6 p.m. today. It doesn't really matter what the offer is. What's important is that you're making them. You're making yourself visible and you're really getting out there. And the last thing I want to throw in here, this is so, so, so important, and it has to do with that sense of desperation versus confidence. But make sure you're being helpful. Your business exists to serve other people. It doesn't necessarily exist just to serve you. You enjoy doing it. You've got a talent you want to give the world, and that's amazing. But you're talking to other people. It's not necessarily or entirely about you. So be helpful. This whole thing is about building relationships. Your offer is the end goal, but that's not the whole journey. Remember that. So when you're talking and you're making offers, have a conversation. Don't just jump to the sales pitch. That's boring. No one wants to get to that. So really take the time to listen to people. Take the time to engage with them. If you're having like an enrollment or a sales call conversation, listen to them. If you're doing this on Facebook, listen to what people are saying. If you're doing it based on, your blog posts or your webinars, notice the comments. Notice what people are actually saying, how people are sharing your stuff. Really listen and build that relationship, and it'll make your offer so much stronger, not only for her, but also for you, because you'll be able to hear and notice things that are actually going to connect. So I hope this video was very helpful. Hit me up with your questions. If I've gone through anything and you're noticing a question or a problem that I didn't address in this troubleshooting video, email me. I would love to hear from you at hi@sarahelizabethlahood.com, or comment below this blog post. I'd love to hear from you and really, really honestly take an unemotional look at what you're doing, because you are not wrong. Your offer's not wrong. It's not that people don't want what you're doing. You just haven't quite hit on the way to do it right for you yet. All right, so I'll see you all very soon. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.